Begs the question about the value and role of SEO. Is SEO as important a pillar, or have the rules changed? Obviously, you said earlier that a lot of SEO companies or players are upset with Google. How are you navigating the SEO waters these days?
Search is always going to evolve and change. I don't know in the last 18 months that anything has drastically changed other than everyone talking about how things are going to change, if that
Yeah,
makes sense. People are more worried than they need to be at this point. Like, I remember, when was the OpenAI rollout? It was
November 2022.
2022. I was a year off. It's 2024 now. I remember when it first rolled out, everyone was scared, saying this is going to take AI writing jobs. As a business, we got to go explore and see what are the capabilities of this. We did a lot of research on those. And I think in March of 2023, we came out with this video, will AI replace writers? After using ChatGPT, we argued no, at least not in the near future. The reason was because actually there's more nuance to that. So we said it can replace bad writers, but the kind of writing that we do, where we interview a point of contact inside of the company who has immense knowledge on whatever we're writing about, and we're acting like journalists to produce marketing content, I don't think that's going to be replaced by some AI writing tool anytime in the near future. Because not only, even if we could feed an interview into ChatGPT or any other AI writing tool, there's nuance in how to set up the argumentation, into how to like format everything, what arguments are important versus not. And I don't think AI is at the point where it can distinguish that stuff like humans. When we did the research and tested out trying to write different articles with ChatGPT, even if you just think about how ChatGPT works, where it scrapes the web and then it kind of rehashes general talking points on whatever it is. So it tries to find the most common answer and provide that back. If we truly want to stand out in content and the content we're producing, then wouldn't you not want to have the most generic answers and the most generic thoughts in your marketing content? You actually want to be different and have something that you're saying that's unique to your industry that makes your company stand out. For us, when we looked at how it was working, we just said, this doesn't even really make sense to use as a writing tool, because if you're going to use AI or ChatGPT or any AI writer, just the way it works, you're going to produce just generic content that everyone else is producing, because you're going to use the same arguments as everyone else. You're going to have the same opinions on the industry. And if you truly want to be differentiated in your marketing, you're supposed to do stuff differently. We just thought it didn't really make sense from a writing standpoint. So that's writing. Then there's the search engines. The search engines is probably more of what we're nervous about longer term, because algorithms change, the process that we've come up with to rank and all that kind of stuff can continue to change and evolve. So there's a couple of ways to look at this. There's Google versus new incumbents. I'm still of the mindset that while everyone is very negative Google right now, Google has still a majority of the market share. I would say 80+%. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. Like, for a new search engine to gain mass adoption, I just think it's going to take years and years for that to happen. And so I'm not as worried about the new search engines such as Perplexity and some of the other ones at this point. That said, I think it's something to pay attention to long term and see how the search results from the different search engines, what information are they giving that's different than what Google is doing now. But also, I think because people are so negative on Google and they've gotten so much backlash lately, if I was them as a company, I would just invest heavily into improving all the negative feedback that they have. So I also think that they have way more of a wealth of knowledge than any other search engine at this point, including on the AI side. So they've been testing different AI stuff for years already. And so just in terms of feeding back results that customers would want using AI, I think they're way ahead of any other competitor. And I just think that, just like coming out of 2020, with the elections, how everyone was so negative on Meta and Mark Zuckerberg, and you had all those congressional testimonies, and everyone's Meta's done. And now 4 years later, they've bounced back, and no one really has that opinion anymore. I think the same thing will happen with Google. I think, okay, they might have screwed up on a couple of their last updates. The recent one from this March seems to have improved a lot of the negative things that have happened in the past. For example, we have a client that was in the medical space that got hit really hard in the September and October updates of last year and lost, I would say, 30 to 50% of their
Mm.
position 1 through 3 rankings. And now it corrected itself, and we're nearly at all-time highs in terms of rankings in those 1 through 3 positions, because they truly provided better information on the category than any other site that was talking about this. Like, we're interviewing their doctors and cutting edge researchers on concussion treatment and providing way more robust answers and information than, let's say, a Healthline or a WebMD, where again, you have just generic researchers or doctors talking about this space, but they don't have that level of expertise that someone who only deals in this one area does. I guess all that to say, I'm not as negative on Google in the near term. And I think people, anytime something new comes out, people over index on the side of this is going to change everything. And people forget that for real change to happen usually takes way longer than you ever expect. So you could say, I don't know, we go to a bunch of different spaces, but crypto,
Mm-hmm.
2017, everyone's, this is going to change everything. More people have become involved, but I've yet to see products that have hit mass adoption yet. Like any new technology, AI, same thing. Like, it's been around for a long time, but I still think we're years off from where this becomes something that truly changes content.